Hey everyone, so the last Playtime tutorial I made is actually outdated, so I wanted to make a quick tutorial just kind of updating it with the new system that you would do. But yeah, we're just going to get right into it. I'm not going to blabber on any longer. The last tutorial used poison ticks, but this one will use Unix. Unix is a placeholder, date.unix inside of percent signs will return a super big number. This is basically the amount of seconds since a specific date. I think it's like 1970, January 1st, something like that. That doesn't matter though, because we'll just use this in the tutorial and I'll explain as we go. First, we're going to start by setting up a poison loop. So go to house settings, go to event actions, player join, add an action, apply potion effect, poison. The duration will be 2 million seconds, as hopefully they will have the effect for the entire time in the house. Set the level to 10 and override existing effects to true. Then, if your house includes respawning or killing, I recommend just adding the exact same thing in the respawn event, which we are doing here. 2 million seconds, level 10, override existing effects on. Then we want to go to our PvP plus damage settings, make sure poison / wither damage is on. Then we're going to go back to our event actions, go to player damage, add an action, a conditional. Inside this conditional, we're going to check if the damage causes poison, which if it is, in the if actions, we're going to cancel, and we'll come back to this later. Okay, so the playtime tutorial is super simple. We're just going to create one function. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it playtime. Inside this function, we're going to add a conditional. We're going to add a condition inside this conditional and check if the player stat Unix is less than date.unix. Then from there, we're going to go to the if actions, and in here, we're going to set Unix, the player stat Unix, to the date.unix. So we're updating it here. Then we're going to add another change player stat, and we're going to set seconds. We're going to actually increase it just by 1. Then we're going to create another conditional, and inside this conditional, we're going to check if seconds is greater than or equal to 60, meaning that 60 seconds has gone by. So what we're now going to do is set seconds. We're going to set that to 0, and then, 0, and then we're going to increase minutes by 1. So minutes increment 1. Now we're going to do another conditional, and inside this conditional, we're going to check if minutes, we're basically doing the same thing here, if minutes is greater than 60 or equal to 60, that means 60 minutes has gone by. Go back and add a conditional, if actions. From there, we will set minutes to 0, just resetting it, but we're also going to increase hours, I'm going to spell it actually right, hours increase by 1. And that's how you make the player playtime. I'm not going to show you how to make it global take time, which is pretty much the same thing using global stats. We're going to create another conditional. Inside this conditional, we're going to check if the global stat requirement Unix is less than date.unix. Same thing as player stat, literally just for global stats. And then inside here, we're going to set Unix to the date.unix. So set and then date.unix. And then we're going to create another one, change player stat. We do seconds, increase by 1, and then we'll just check basic math to see if minutes and hours should be done. So we'll do another global stat requirement, see if seconds is greater than or equal to 60, meaning 60 seconds has gone by on the server. So we will set seconds equal to 0, and then we'll increase minutes by 1. Minutes increase by 1. And then we're going to go back, add another conditional. This is the final conditional, I think. Yep, minutes. We're going to see if it's greater than or equal to 60, meaning, again, 60 seconds or 60 minutes has gone by. We're going to set minutes, set that to 0, and then we're going to increase hours by 1. Hours increase by 1. And there we go. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go back to event actions, go to player damage. Inside this conditional, we're going to trigger the function, not apply inventory layout. We're going to trigger the function playtime. And now we're going to rejoin the house. Once we rejoin the house, we should have the poison effect, and we can now go in survival. As you can see, nothing is happening because we need to actually display the stat. So what I'm going to do is just go into housing menu, go to the scoreboard editor. I'm just going to remove everything here and make a custom line. This line is going to just have a few placeholders. So to do placeholders, what we're going to do is we'll do stat.player/hours, and then after that, we'll have this just text h, just display hours. Then we'll have stat.player/minutes, oh my god, if I can spell, minutes, m for minutes at the end, stat.player/seconds, s at the end to display seconds. Again, this can be whatever you want. I'm just showing you an example with the placeholders. And on the scoreboard, there we go. You can see 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. I'm just going to add another one basically the exact same thing, but instead of doing stat.player, we're going to do stat.global. This will display our global playtime using the global stats. So we'll go back and we'll just place all the players with global. And I'll just use a color code in the beginning. I'll just make it green just so we can see the difference a bit easier. But as you can see, 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Now, if we go in survival, this will go up every second. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once it gets to 60 seconds, it will increase 1 to the minutes. And if the minutes get to 60, it'll increase 1 to the hours. But yeah, I just want to get this out of the way because people have been having issues with the other playtime tutorial, and that is outdated. So I just want to make a tutorial updating it and just making sure that any future tutorials that includes the playtime, you guys can have a more accurate system to use for your house. Also, as a bonus little thing, I want to show you something real quick. If we go to house settings, the functions, and the playtime function, I'll actually show you real quick. So inside the first conditional, where we're checking if the Unix is less than or whatever, and we set that here, and we add 1 to seconds, any code that's after this will happen every second. So let's say maybe we do send a chat message. So as you can see, it's already sending hello, hello, hello. That is happening every second. So if we would do the same thing for, let's go in here. This is the minutes one. We can have it do something every minute, and then same thing, we can have something for hours. So that's a little thing I guess you could do for if you were trying to do something like tip messages or basically whatever, I guess. But yeah, that's going to end off the tutorial. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.